Every year, up to 15% of the world's gold is extracted by artisanal and small-scale gold miners. There are about 10 to 15 million of them worldwide, representing 90% of the global gold mining workforce. Roughly a third of them are women. Artisanal and small-scale gold mining, in short ASGM, is an important source of income and an opportunity for rural development. However, ASGM is often informal. Miners rely on simple techniques and often work under conditions offering little health, safety, or environmental protection. Millions of miners use mercury to extract the gold from ore. The mercury-gold mixture, or amalgam, is then heated to vaporize the mercury and leave the gold behind. Mercury vapors are very dangerous to miners, their communities, and the environment. ASGM is the world's largest source of global mercury emissions to the atmosphere. The Minamata Convention on Mercury entered into force in August 2017. It aims to protect human health and the environment from mercury pollution. Under the convention, many countries are required to develop and implement a National Action Plan, or NAP, to reduce and eventually eliminate the use of mercury in ASGM. Each country should include in its NAP actions to eliminate whole ore amalgamation, open burning of amalgam, burning of amalgam in residential areas, and cyanide leaching in sediment or tailings to which mercury has been added without first removing the mercury. These are often referred to as worst practices. Worst, whole ore amalgamation. In whole ore amalgamation, all of the ore is brought into contact with mercury. It is a very inefficient process, recovering less than half of the gold. And it consumes large amounts of mercury, which are lost to the environment in tailings and during amalgam burning. Better, mill and concentrate the ore. Instead, the ore should be milled appropriately and concentrated before adding mercury. Common concentration methods, including panning, sluicing, shaking tables, and centrifuges, use density differences to separate gold from the lighter particles, which form the majority of the ore matrix. These methods can recover equal or greater amounts of gold while using far less or even no mercury. Worst, open burning of amalgam or processed amalgam. The miners heat the amalgam to evaporate the mercury and separate the gold. This is often done without use of a mercury capturing device such as a retort. Highly toxic mercury vapors are inhaled by miners, gold shop operators, families, and communities, contributing to the health problems among exposed populations. Moreover, once emitted into the atmosphere, mercury can be transported over long distances, contaminating food sources and harming global ecosystems. Better, use of mercury vapor tools. Simple and safer technology is accessible at low cost. Retorts and fume hoods can be used to capture and recover mercury. When used properly, these systems significantly reduce miners' exposure to mercury vapor. Worst, burning of amalgam in residential areas. Miners often burn the mercury-gold amalgam in residential areas, or even in their homes. By doing so, they threaten not only their own health, but also that of their families who live and work close to the processing sites. The mercury vapor emitted in a closed environment condenses on walls and ceilings and is re-emitted gradually, creating an ongoing exposure risk. Better, process and extract in designated areas away from vulnerable populations. Amalgam should be processed and extracted in designated areas as far away as possible from where people live. Vulnerable populations, in particular children, pregnant women, and women of childbearing age, should never be present during amalgamation, burning, or any other activity involving mercury. Worst, cyanide leaching in sediment or tailings to which mercury has been added without first removing the mercury. In ASGM, a large portion of gold and mercury remains in tailings. To recover this gold, miners often reprocess the tailings using cyanide. The resulting mercury cyanide compounds significantly increase mercury pollution and allow mercury to accumulate more easily in the food chain. Mercury-rich tailings should therefore not be reprocessed using cyanide. Better, ensure mercury is removed before applying cyanide. If gravimetric methods are applied and no mercury is used, cyanidation can be a responsible method for gold extraction. If miners decide to recover gold from mercury-contaminated tailings using cyanide, they should first remove as much residual mercury as possible. While technologies exist for this purpose, complete mercury recovery is problematic, and remobilization is a significant risk. The best option is not to use mercury in the first place. Eliminating worst practices is a crucial step in protecting miners, communities, and the environment, as well as in strengthening development opportunities. However, it is only the first step. Best, mercury-free alternatives. Mercury-free techniques are not only safer, but can also be more efficient and help miners to increase their income by producing more gold, or even selling gold at a higher price via certification schemes. A range of technologies is available to move from worst and better to best practices that use no mercury. Paying close attention to mineralogy and grain size is a first step to ensuring the efficient gold liberation necessary for higher gold recovery. Miners can combine multiple concentration techniques. In the right geological context, high recoveries are possible using only gravity methods and the right equipment. Miners can directly smelt highly concentrated ore to separate the gold from other minerals, or use chemical leaching, though this requires capital, training, and careful monitoring. The best technique depends on the specific local circumstances, existing practice and knowledge, type of ore, access to human and financial resources, and many other factors. The options need to be carefully assessed. In order to allow miners to move from worst to better and best practices, policymakers need to support the transition to alternatives. Governments should formalize or better regulate the ASGM sector to avoid marginalization of miners. Moreover, they should encourage formation of ASGM cooperatives. This will facilitate their access to capital, expertise, and alternative technologies. Miners are more likely to adopt better practices if they increase or at least maintain their levels of income. Governments should support the establishment of secure, transparent, and verifiable supply chains and explore innovative, market-based approaches. Miners need to be educated about the dangers posed by mercury use. Governments should also offer opportunities for training on efficient extraction and processing techniques and mercury-free alternatives. Artisanal and small-scale gold mining based on sound practices will reduce mercury use. By providing miners and their communities with an opportunity for development, a transition to mercury-free ASGM can help to diversify and reinforce local economies, protect human health and the environment, and contribute to achieving many of the Sustainable Development Goals. The development of national action plans is essential to this process and will put countries on track to transform the ASGM sector for a more sustainable future. For more information, please check the website of the UNEP Global Mercury Partnership and the UNEP UNITAR Mercury Platform.